Hello everyone. So we are going to start this training concerning TZ Maps, our new chat format. My name is Antoine. I am here with my teammate Thierry. We are both part of the technical support of the Maxi company and also from the training department. So we are going to start just right now. It's 3:03 right now, so we are going to start. So this training is about TZ Maps. It's the new chat format that we provide, and we've been releasing this chat format for more than 1 year now, since the end of 2023. And this new chart format is compatible with TimeZero Navigator. TimeZero Navigator is the software that you should be seeing just right now in front of you on your screen. But we are also compatible with TimeZero Professional. The chart format TZ Maps is also compatible with TZIBot. For those who don't know TZIBot, it's our mobile platform software. So if you have an iPad or an iPhone, you can download TZIBot on your device. And this application works with the new chart format TZ Maps. Okay. And also for those who are working a lot with Furuno Navnets, we are compatible with Furuno Navnets XL. Okay. So these are all the devices on which you will be able to install TZ Maps. Then, what is TZ Maps exactly? So TZ Maps is a new chart format. Before with TimeZero Navigator, you had to buy a former chart format. You had the choice between raster charts and vector charts provided by CMap. But since 2023, we have now our new chart format, which include not only vector charts, but also raster charts according to the area where you are sailing, and also other information such as satellite photos in high definition, and also some Bativision information. So we are going to see that at the end of the training, but it's something that is very interesting. So for one chart that you purchase with TimeZero Navigator or TZIBot, you will have in this package vector charts, raster charts, Bativision charts, and high satellite pictures. This new chart format is only compatible with version 5 of TimeZero Navigator of TimeZero Professional. So if you have TimeZero version 4 or version 3, you will need to update your version of the software so that you can be compatible with this new chart format. And concerning our mobile platform, TZIBot, it's compatible with version 3. Okay, so it's the latest version of the software. Okay, so here's like an overview of the chart. So just right now in front of you, you have the TZ Maps vector charts. Okay, so once you purchase a TZ Maps chart with us, you will be sent a link of the chart. So we have a different coverage. So directly from our software, we can have a look of the coverage that we are offering to our users. So from the TimeZero menu here on the top left, you have here the TZ Maps store. Okay, if you click on TZ Maps store, here you have all the chart coverage for TZ Maps. Okay, so it actually answered the 90% of coverage that are using our users. So we have chart coverage for the United States, for Central America, for the Caribbeans, also for Chile. Concerning the Pacific, we have all the charts concerning New Zealand, Australia, the Pacific Islands, and for Asia, we have Japan also. So then for this area in the Middle East, for example, or in Indonesia, Thailand, We unfortunately don't have the possibility to provide with TZ Maps charts at the moment. Okay, so we are going to make it evolve, obviously. But for those who are sitting in these areas, you will have no choice to purchase one of our former chart format like CMap. Okay, because with version 5, we are compatible with both TZ Maps and also with the former chart format CMap and raster. Okay. So we also have here an area for South Africa, but mainly for all the European coast. As you can see, we can cover all this area. So once you receive an email from us after you purchase a TZ map chart, you will be sent a link, and this link will lead you to the TZ Maps website. So I'm going to change here my view because I'm sharing now just TimeZero Navigator. I'm going to share my whole screen. And you can here directly go on Google, and when you receive the link of the chart, you will have this web page that will open, okay, and will with all the chart package that we can sell for TimeZero Navigator. And if, for example, you purchased this area, which is Ireland and UK, you can click on it, and from the right part, sorry, of the screen, you will be able to download, just like before, the chart from this area. Okay, so you can click on download, it will download the chart, and then you will be able to install it. Okay, so just the way that we did before, you can just download the chart and install it so that it can display on TimeZero Navigator for PC software. Okay. Now we have another way of installing the chart. Okay, so this is for the people who wants to download the whole area. But if, for example, you're just sailing in Ireland and maybe you don't need England and Scotland, for example, and just need this area, then you can go directly in the software itself and you can just download the area that you're looking for. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my software here. And from the software, I have here different tabs. So I have my navigation tab, planning tab, and I'm going to click on update. Okay, so I'm going to click on update. So before the update workspace, and it still is the case, was done in order to download the weather forecast. Okay, so we can still here download the weather forecast for several days, but I'm interested in clicking on this icon, which is TZ Maps. And from here, you can see that you have like the world map displaying with different kind of cells, okay? And from this area, you will be able to download the different cells or the chart that you need for only your coverage, okay? So how does it work? As you can see, you have different cells. So the one that are strict, just like that, means that you don't have the chart so far, okay? It's just because you haven't purchased it, okay? If you have like gray charts, gray cells like this, it means that the chart is not downloaded. So as long as you're connected to the internet, you will have access to the chart, okay? But the thing is that when you're not connected anymore to the internet, you will lose the chart details. So it's very important for you to download the different cells here so that it can be available when you're not connected to the internet. So for example, if I want to select, for example, information for the Balearic Islands here, I just need to click on the cells so that it can download. Okay. Once it's all downloaded, it will turn in green. Okay. And what have I downloaded here is the vector charts and the high resolution bathymetrical charts. How do I know that? Because on the right part of the screen, I have here a menu on which you can select what you really want to download. okay? So by default, the vector chart will be automatically detected, okay, and selected. And also by default, the HR bathymetric 3D data will also be selected. So if you need the raster chart and the photo, high resolution satellite photo to be also downloaded in your package, you will have to select those charts, okay? So as I told you, once you downloaded the chart, it will turn green, just like that. So it means that for this area, for example, for Mallorca, my chart is already loaded. So when I'm not connected to the internet, I will still have the chart details for this area, but it won't be the case for the rest of the cells. Okay. Again, if you go to the website and you download the whole package, you won't need to worry about this, okay? Because all the cells will be downloaded from the file that you have downloaded from our website, okay? Also, something that you need to know, if you click again on the cell which is green, it will turn light, okay? It will be highlighted just like that, okay? So what does that mean? When you have the green cells and these light cells like that, it means that the data is actually available when you're not connected to the internet anymore. But if it's green, it means that as soon as you get an internet connection, if an update has been released on this area, this update will be automatically be loaded through the internet access, okay? Which is not the case with this area. It will be still available when you're not connected to the internet, but when when there is an update released for this area, it will not be loaded, okay? You will need to wait for an internet connection and make the upload of the update yourself once you're maybe ashore, okay? To help you with this, you have here like this information on the bottom left-hand corner, okay? So not purchased for the street area, not downloaded for the grayed out areas, and favorite if you're connected to the internet, and you will have all the updates automatically uploaded once you're connected to the internet in the same way for this area when it says downloaded. One other information which is nice to see is that on the right part of the screen, you have here the disk usage, so you know exactly what size of vector charts you have downloaded, what is also the size of the raster chart, the high resolution photo, and the HR bathymetric information. Another information concerning TZ Maps charts, when you buy a chart, you buy a subscription, which means that you pay first for a year, and after a year, you will have like a discount on the chart, and you will be able to have, again, all the updates for this chart after 1 year, as long as you continue the subscription, okay? But you are free also to stop the subscription. You will get the chart that you've paid for during this year. And if you want maybe to update your chart within 2, 3, or 4 years, you will be able to do so by paying the update. So we are going to make like a small pause here. I don't know if Thierry, you have like different questions on the chat. Just to let you know, we have like a very small chat on which people can just ask questions. So do not hesitate, and we are going to answer those questions during this training.
Well, we just have one question, but it's okay. It's if the Asharbati auto update when it is in favorite, and I just say yes. That means if Asharbati is selected in the favorite and selected in the right part of the panel, it will be automatically updated at the same time as the charts.
Exactly. as long as the cell is green, it will be automatically updated. Other questions so far?
No, no more question for the moment.
Okay. Okay, so once we have all our cells downloaded, just like that, we'll be able to go back to our planning or navigation workspace. Okay, so let's go to the navigation workspace. Here I am using a simulation file in France, which is in La Rochelle. So that you can, I'm going to unzoom so that you can see where my boat is. Okay, so we are going to focus on this area, and we are going to see what TZ Maps charts can offer. Okay, so first, as you can see here, I have a vector charts display, but as I told you before, when you buy TZ Maps, you don't only have vector charts, but you also have raster charts and bathymetric high resolution data, and also satellite photos. How do I display all these information? You need to go on the layers menu, which is situated at the bottom right of the screen. And from there, as you can see, you have the chart display mode. So here I am on TZ Maps and I'm in the vector format. Okay. Again, with TimeZero version 5, sorry, I'm still compatible with the old chart format. So if I have both chart formats with my TimeZero Navigator, I can actually switch from one chart mode to the other. So I have selected TZ Maps, I am on vector chart, but if I want raster charts on my area, I can just select TZ raster. And I also have TZ Bathyvision, but again, I'm going to see that at the end of the training. In order to display satellite photos, I can also select satellite photos on screen. And I have here satellite photos in high resolution mode. And we still have this photo fusion. What is a photo fusion? It's the mix between the chart information, so the chart detail, and the high resolution satellite photo, okay? So that I can display all these kind of beautiful satellite pictures here, which is mixed up with the chart data. Okay, so with TZ Maps chart, so it's not only displaying TZ vector or TZ raster or TZ bathymetric vision, okay? We also have like a bunch of different options, and we are going to see that, okay? So from the software, you will need to go to the TimeZero menu here on the top left-hand corner, and you go to Options. In my options, we are going to see the vector chart information and advanced options. Okay, I'm going just to unselect satellite picture here, and here we go. Okay, so for my presentation, we can see that we have like different color palettes for our vector charts. Okay, so I have the standard one, which is selected by default, but as you can see, we have like 8 different chart palettes for TZ vector. Okay, so you can select the chart palette that you want. So it's very, like only the user can actually select his own chart palette, obviously, but you can select the one that is more suitable for you, okay? So we have the NOAA chart palette, again, we have the SHOM chart palette also, which is kind of similar, and we actually use the standard one for TimeZero. But the user is obviously can actually choose the color palette that he wants for his own usage. Okay. Also concerning the different kinds of icons that you can see here. So I have different buoys, for example, in this area. if I go down in this same menu, you can see that you can change the style from one icon type to the other. Okay, so I can use the chart, paper chart icons for my buoys, but if I want like simplified, I can just select simplify, and you can see that the buoys icon just changed here. Okay. Also, we have the possibility to change the information data, the chart data that we have on land. Okay, so here on land, you can see that we have a few interesting information again. But you can select here the land features that you want for your own usage. So you can just put on off. So when I put on off, as you can see, I have no information data for land here, and I can switch to all the official S52 mode, okay, or just select here the OpenStreetMap mode. Which is also interesting with the TZ Maps chart is that you can play with the size of the objects on screen. Okay, so if I go here at the bottom of the menu, you can see that we have this cursor here, and we can go and play with the size of the icons. So this is very small, this is medium, and we can go like displaying very big information on screen. Also, something very interesting is that we will be able to play with the values, with the depths that we can see here on screen. As you can see, we have like 3 different shades of blue here on the chart, and each shade depends on what we have configured here. So we can set up different depths according to shallow water, safety waters, and deep waters. Okay, so if I want deep waters, which are now at 8 meters, I can just go to select, for example, 20 meters. And as you can see now, I have this blue, light blue area here up to 20 meters. I can also change that for the safety waters. I can go and display 10 meters, for example. And for shallow water, I can just display 5 meters, for example. So it's very easy for you to change these values, and just by looking at the chart and looking at the different shades of blue, you already know in which area you are sailing in, which is pretty cool. I'm going to put it back by default. And that's it. So very interesting concerning the different options. As you can see, you can really play with the chart details and select the color palette that you want for your own usage, the object size, and select different values for the safety waters. So this is for the different options that we have for the vector charts. All these options can only be used for the vector charts mode. If you're in the raster chart mode, you won't be able to do it. Okay, why? Because it's raster chart. It's like a scanned chart, paper chart, so you cannot just play with the with the details in this chart. Okay, so you will only be able to play with the different advanced options concerning the TZ map vector chart. And actually, when you go to the TimeZero options, as you can see, it's called vector chart and not raster chart, so it makes sense. Is there any question concerning the different advanced options that we have for TZ Maps charts, Thierry?
No, we have some question, but already answered, and no need to to interrupt your session.
Okay, just so that you know, because since this training is concerning TZ Maps charts, it's very interesting for us to get questions concerning TZ Maps charts. So if you have other questions concerning other functionalities of the program, just like maybe the weather forecast, for example, the routing module, radar or sounder, advanced options, for example, please just take note of these questions and you can send them to our technical support at support@mytimezero.com and we will be very happy to answer your questions. Okay, but it would be great if in the chat all the questions are related to the TZ Maps chart. If there is no other questions, we are going to see the different features, because yes, there are different features concerning TZ Maps charts. It's just not only a map, but we have like a bunch of very cool features concerning our new chart format. Okay, so we are going to start with the lights. With TimeZero vector charts, TZ Maps, we have the possibility to display the light range of any lighthouse, for example, who are displayed here on screen. And it's something new that we didn't have before, and that comes with the TZ Map vector charts. How does that work? As you can see, it's not the case in all Europe, but in France, it's mostly the case. For example, you have different light sector here. As you can see, for in this lighthouse, we have like red light sector, like yellow sectors also. And this, you can directly display that kind of information directly on the chart. How does it work? You just need to right-click on the lighthouse and just select Show the Light Range. And when you select Show the Light Range, you can see until where the light can reach the sea, so that you can see directly where you're situated with your boat. Okay, so if this is an information that you have directly on the chart, what we are going to see that is very interesting, because you can have like an advanced option concerning the lights according to your boat position and the land. Okay, the topology of the land directly on in your area. Okay, so this is what you can do here. Obviously, you cannot just display different light range for different lighthouse. Okay, because otherwise it would be it will not make much sense on the chart. Okay, so you just can select one at a time. Okay, if we go here upper north, we can also do it for this one and show the light range. Something that you can do concerning the options of the software, you can also change the mode of this feature. I'm going to explain myself. If you go to the TimeZero menu and you go to options, still in the vector chart options, you can see that you have here a part concerning the lights. Okay, so you have the light descriptions that you can select, but here you have the display mode. Okay, so you have different display mode here. You have the normal one, which is with the simple sectors. You can have the rear range sectors, but once you select this, as you can see, you will have like a lot of vectors here, which is not really nice because you cannot see a lot on your chart after that. Okay, but what I wanted to focus on here is that you can change to dynamic. When you click on dynamic, TimeZero will just display the light which is supposed to be lighted on the buoy or in the lighthouse, according to the boat position and also to the land. Which means why I don't have, for example, a light for this lighthouse, for example, it's because I cannot see in real time the position of the light from this lighthouse, because my boat is just hidden by the land, so I cannot see it. And this is why I don't have like a color for this specific item here. Okay, so I will just have highlighted only the information that I can see from my boat. Okay, and if an information is just not visible from my boat because of land, for example, then it won't be displayed either on my chart. Okay, so only the direct lights that I can see from my boat. Okay, and also I can change to dynamic from dynamic to dynamic and flashing to have a much more adequate display. So this is a nice feature, the dynamic mode for the lights are very, very interesting. I'm going to switch back to simple sectors. Also, which is nice, it's that from the nav data, so just for a quick reminder, the nav data is the right column that you have here on the right part of the screen. We have a dedicated nav data for the lights also. Okay, so you just can click on the three dots at the top bottom right of the screen, and you can select flashing lights. And here you can just click on any light, and TimeZero will just tell you which light is corresponding to what you've selected in this nav data. So you have different kinds of information. So you have the distance from the boat, the bearing information also. So this is a nice nav data here. Another feature that we have with TZMap vector charts is the smart zone. So I don't know if you have seen on the screen, but maybe you have like some notifications on top of the screen, which indicates you when you are going and when you are entering a specific area. For example, if you have an area for forbidden mooring, for example, and when the boat is entering that area, you will be warned through a notification here. And when you go out of the area, you will be also notified. So we also have a specific nav data for that. So again, I'm going to click on the three dots here, and I'm going to select chart zone. And these are the chart areas in which my boat is at the moment. Okay, so I have, for example, depth area from 5 meters to 10 meters, and I can click on this information so that TimeZero can display on the chart the area. Okay, so from 5 meters to 10 meters, again, I can just select this information, and TimeZero will tell me in red to which area it corresponds. Also, it indicates me that I'm into the rade de la palisse. So again, I can just click on it, and TimeZero will tell me where I'm situated inside the rade de la palisse. And since I'm leaving the area, I should have within the next minutes or the next seconds an information and a notification saying that I am leaving this area. So these are the information that I have concerning my boat. Okay, so as you can see, leaving Rade de la Palisse. Okay, so it tells me when I am entering and when I am leaving the area. This information that I have here in the nav data is very interesting, but as you can see, it corresponds to where my boat is situated. So it's according to my boat position. If I want to have some information in another area where I'm supposed to navigate within the next few days, I can also switch from this mode, from this boat position mode, to the free mode, we will say. Okay, so I just need here to click because we have like a small icon with a boat in it, okay? If I click on it, we are going to see that this now a cursor is now displayed, which means that I am right now on a free mode, okay? So now I can go anywhere on my chart, for example, in this area, for example. And here with the cursor, so through the cursor of my mouse, I can just go on my chart and I will have all the information concerning this area. So I have here restricted area, for example, and all the information concerning this area. If I click on it, you can see here TimeZero is also displaying this area. I have offshore productions also here. So I have a wind farm, as it says. Okay, so you have all that kind of information. If I go to another area, for example, here, I have military practice area, and TimeZero will directly display the area for me. Okay, so very interesting. This is the chart zones. This is a feature which is related to the TMAP vector charts. So again, don't forget to switch from one mode to the other if you want to have information concerning any area on your TZMap chart. I'm going to center on my boat now. And we are going to have a look at the next feature. So the next feature is very
Short
important.
question in between.
We are going to make a pause. Sorry, sir. If you don't mind. We are going to make a pause in the next 3 minutes. Thank you. So we are not going to see the community maps because, as I can see, there are like a lot of questions. But we are just going to see the feature which is called the Smart Search feature. Okay, we have here a Smart Search feature which is inside the TimeZero menu. And here you can click on Smart Search. So this is actually a search engine, just like you have in Google, for example. When you're on Google, when you type just like 3 or 4 letters, you already have results for your search. Well, actually, with this smart search engine, it's kind of the same. Okay, so if I want to know where Portsmouth is, for example, I can just put Portsmouth. And here I have all kinds of results. I can just click on the first one, which is the most relevant. And TimeZero will go directly on the area. So this is very interesting. If I want like very, very specific information on the chart, so all you can see here, all the results that are here are inside the vector chart, okay? So anything that is written here, Isle of Wight, obviously, but any kind of information on the chart, you will be able to search for it and display it directly through the smart search engine. It also works with your own database, okay? If you have like a lot of marks, a lot of routes, and you want to select one particularly and you know the name of the mark, you can just put the name of the mark, select mark here, and you put the name of the mark, and you will be able to easily find your mark and center on it. And it's the same for tide stations, any marina you want to search for, any mooring, any active captain information, because we are still compatible with the active captain service. So you can make any kind of search from this window. Okay, again, it's a smart search. You have access to it through the TimeZero menu and here, smart search. Okay, we are going to pause as I can see that people have questions. Thierry?
No written question. I don't know. I enter everything, and I don't know if somebody wants to ask
Okay.
directly. I don't know.
Okay, we can make an exception if you want to ask directly, but since we have more than 30 people attending this training, if everyone has his own question, it's going to be a bit hard to maintain this training session. So if you have your question, you can type it through the chat, through the chat service that we have from the Zoom area. Okay, it would be nice. Or maybe if this person can ask directly his question, it's also fine. No, yes. Okay, well, it means that it was
Okay.
not that important.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are going to, since we have seen the smart search tool, we are going to go through another feature concerning TZ Maps charts, which is called the community maps. Okay, so this one is very interesting. It maybe to me, I think it may be one of the most interesting of them all. So what is the community maps? I don't know if some of you already used an application which is called Waze. Waze is actually an application for all the drivers who would like to get information or be warned for specific things concerning their route, for example, when they are driving. If you want to be warned if there is an accident, for example, you can be warned through the application. If you want to be warned, for example, if there is any police or security stopping you on the road, you can also be warned for that. Okay, so we had the same idea for TZ maps, and we called it the community maps. We have like maybe thousands of users on TimeZero, and maybe some user would like to share information on the TZ Maps charts. So we created like a layer, a specific chart for our users on which the user can directly put information on the chart. Okay, and the chart, the community maps chart, is by default selected on screen. Okay, if you want to unselect it, you can just go to the layers menu and unselect the community maps. Okay, so I'm going to let it selected here so that I can explain more deeply the functionality. So we have like a few users already who just put more information and added information on the TZ vector map chart so that it can be shared to other users. Specifically, in this area, for example, we have a user who put like more information and information that was not on the default TZ map chart. Okay, so we have here a professional user who put different buoys here so that it can be shared with other users. How do I know that these items are not from the chart, but from one user? It's because you have this little star here, okay, next to the icon. So when I just unselect the community maps, as you can see, it all disappears. Okay, when I get it back, here is information that I have on the chart. Okay, so if you are not very happy with this functionality, you still have the opportunity to unselect the community maps functionality here so that you can stick with the official TZ map vector chart data. Okay, but if you want to get more information, because some users already said in this area, you can actually just go and select the community maps. So this specific user, for example, just put a bunch of buoys here, and for one of these, he also put a photo Okay, so I guess that this user may have used TZIBot, the mobile platform app that we have for iPhone and iPad, because it's very easy to create an item here and link a photo with it. Okay, so when the user is just clicking the boy, as I am doing just right now, I will have the information that there is a boy here, and I will have a photo of the buoy that the user himself just put for this item. Okay, so very interesting. I have also, if I go to my boat, also some just put photo for an existing lighthouse here, so I can just click on it. It should display. Yes. So here I have a photo that one user just put for this lighthouse. I don't have any very small star here because this item belongs to the default TZ vector chart. Okay, it's there. It's just that the user just wanted to put a picture for this item. Okay. What do I have here? Also, for example, I have another photo here. Also, if I go back to the area of Quiberon, yeah, we have like a lot of information here. We also have comments for a mooring area here. So this user put a comment in French here, but it's very interesting because even yourself, you can just create any kind of item on the chart on the community maps layers. Okay, so how do I create my own community maps information data on the layer? I just need to right click anywhere on the chart where I think that some information should be interesting for other people. So I will just right click on this area. I will create a chart object. So now TimeZero is asking me what kind of object do I want to put here. So it can be a beacon, it can be a buoy, it can be an obstruction. You can even put information for a marina or leisure activities. So let's say that this is a very interesting diving point. So I'm going to click on leisure activity. And here I have diving spot. So I'm going to create a diving spot here on my layer. So what now? So what I can do is just put just a name, for example. I can just put also a comment. So I can comment this object. I can even rate myself this information, and I can just put a follow. So I can just click, for example, in photo, and if I go to my pictures, I should have in my images here information. Yes, I have a nice picture here. I can just attach this photo, and once I'm ready to create this object, this chart object on the community maps layer, I can just click on create. So I'm not going to do that because if I click on create, it will be on the community maps layer, okay? And since it's a false information, I will not do that. So if you are sailing in an area and you see a buoy which is not displayed on the chart, you can yourself create this object on the community maps layer. If there are any questions concerning the community maps layer?
No question here.
Okay. Okay, since there is no other question, I'm going to talk about the next feature. Okay, so we have like 2 or 3 more features to see here. So the next feature is called the dynamic moorings. Okay, so what are the dynamic moorings? Here from the layers menu, if you go down the menu, you have and you can display the dynamic moorings. When I click on dynamic moorings, I can see here, for example, that I have a bunch of moorings that have been created. But if I go zoom, I can see that I have a lot more here, for example. So the dynamic moorings are these small icons here in green, orange. We can see it in red also, and also in purple. These information are mooring spots. So we have already a database for that. If I go, so I'm here in France, I have like a lot of moorings here, for example, in this area also, like a lot of moorings in this area. I also have in the UK, for example, in this area, I think. I should have a few ones. So I have one here. I have a few ones there also, as you can see. Okay. So these icons are moorings. So we have like a chart database for that. And also just like the community maps and the fact that you can create an object, you can also yourself create a mooring. Okay, so if you're sailing and you want to add an interesting spot, an interesting mooring spot, you can do that. This is okay. So this was okay. Let's see that. So I think that Thierry just created these 2 information concerning the dynamic, the community maps, sorry. These information, and we are going to delete them just when we finish the training. I don't know if you've seen, but once my boat is getting closer to a chart object that has been created by a user, I will have a notification here asking if the chart object is relevant or not. And there is a voting system where users can say if it's good or not. If it's not, since we have a chart department which is in France and that can just have access to any kind of new chart object, we can decide if we are going to maintain the information in the community map layer. Okay, if many people are voting that it's a good spot, then we are going to let the information on the community maps layer. If it's not, we will be free to remove it from the layer, okay, according to the voting system results. So talking, okay, as you can see here. So you can just decide if you want to click if it's good or not, okay? And once I click, so I will say it's not good.
Why
As you
it's
can
not?
see here now,
It's good.
it's not good. So you can see here that this information has been created by Thierry. And the thing is that, as you can see, maybe you have like this red finger going down saying that the information is not really accurate or relevant. Okay. And on the contrary, if the icon is green, we are going to let it available for all the users in the community maps layer. Okay, so now I'm going to talk again about the dynamic moorings. So as you can see here, we have different kind of colors, green, orange. As I said, we can have red and we can have also purple. What are those different colors related to? We have to know that these colors are related to the weather forecasts that we have downloaded with the program. So just as a reminder, just to let you know that with TimeZero Navigator, you have a free weather forecast service. and you can download a weather forecast file for up to 15 days. So it's directly from the update workspace here. You can go to the weather tab here and select the number of days that you want for your file, and also select directly what kind of data you want for your forecast file. Okay, so it's very important for you to select wind at least, and waves if you want. So I have selected, just before we started this training, a very big area, okay, which is already downloaded and displayed on my navigation workspace. Okay, so the colors of the different moorings depend on the weather conditions at the date and time that we have selected on screen. Okay, if I go to the planning workspace, I have here at the bottom of the screen the time bar on which I can just see the evolution of the weather forecast. Okay, here, as you can see, this is the weather forecast that I have downloaded for the next 5 days, I think. And I can just select and see the evolution of the weather forecast for the next 5 days. So the dynamic moorings will act the same way according to the weather conditions. So if the weather conditions are good in my area so that I can keep my boat here mooring, so it's fine, okay? So it will be displayed in green. If it's not, it will be displayed in orange. So I'm going just to hide the weather here, and I'm going to zoom in again on my area. And I can see here I have different results. Why? Because I have here on the bottom left of the screen the possibility to say to TimeZero when I will be here mooring with my boat. Okay, so I can just select here a different date. So we are the 8th of April, but let's select the 9th, so tomorrow. Okay, and I'm going to tell TimeZero that I'm going to move here like from 10 to 1 p.m. Okay, so according to the weather conditions that I have previously loaded, TimeZero will tell me if it's okay to stay in this area or this area. Something that you need to know about the mooring here. So this is why I'm going to zoom in like closer. We have, so these icons that are in green. Why are they in green? Because we are protected by the land here. And we know that the wind is coming north. And this is why I have these little green arrows here, which tells me where the wind is coming from. And since I'm protected by the land, the icon turns green automatically. But here, for example, I have a mooring here that has been created by a user, because as you can see, there is this little star here. This one goes orange because we are not protected by any kind of land here, and the wind comes from that direction. So it tells us that it's not that it's not a good spot in order to moor here, but we still have to be a bit careful, okay, according to the evolution of the weather conditions in this area. And I guess that for all those that are in this area, for example, it's much better. Also, as you can see, we have here this mooring with like this little star, which means that a user created this mooring. And we also have like the voting system who tells us if the spot is nice or not, okay? I remember that I have like an interesting spot here, maybe for some moorings. For example, this one is in orange because we are protected by the land just here and there, which is actually, we can see that because we have like these little thin lines here around this icon, which tells us where we are protected from the wind. But since the wind is coming that direction, the icon turns orange. For those ones, it's all good because we are like very, very protected by the land from the wind. So we have like a database, a strong database here in France, but we also have like a few spots in the UK, for example. If I'm going to this in this area, for example, I have a few ones here. I have a few ones there also. So it's nice. This one has been added by some user. This one also has been added by some user. So we have like a very nice database here. And again, so that I can display the dynamic moorings, I just need to go into the layers menu and I go down the menu in order to select dynamic moorings here. Select and unselect. Is there any question concerning the dynamic moorings?
No question here.
Okay. Okay, so we have like two final features to see that was released with the version 5.2, I think. So we are going to talk about the route creation and the route assist. Okay, so I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to go in this area. So TimeZero before had the opportunity to make you create routes directly with the software. So you just need from the route, from the toolbar here, click on the route icon. And before, for version 2, 3, or 4, you only had the opportunity to create manual routes, okay? So you just click on the initial point departure of your route and you click in order to create your own route. And TimeZero will create your route just this way. Okay, so you just need to click and click in order to create your own route. Okay, so this was the manual mode to create your route. But now with version 5.2, we have like another mode, which is very interesting and which is called the route assist. So I'm going to undo my route and I'm going to click back on the route icon. And now instead of selecting manual, I'm going to select assist. And now I can just select just the departure of my route. And I don't even have to create other waypoints concerning my route. I can, but it's not mandatory. And I just can select the destination concerning my route. Okay. So anywhere on the map I can go and TimeZero will create the safest route in order to go to my destination. Okay. And once I double click, I finish my route and that's it. So it's very, very simple. If I want to select one waypoint of my route, I can still select one waypoint and decide where I want to put my point. Okay. Something that you have to know concerning the route assist is that so it will avoid a certain minimal depth area. And so that TimeZero can avoid the land, not the land, but the minimal depths, you need to go in the advanced options of the software. So you go to the options here, and here you have like the routes part, okay? And at the very bottom, you have here the route assist. And from there, you can just select the safety depth. Okay, so I put it in 2 meters. I can put in 3. And there you can just select the feature that you want for compliance. Okay, so if you want to make sure that TimeZero will not go in areas with depths that are below 3 meters, you can just click on strict depth compliance. Okay, you click on close, and that's it. Okay, but once you do that, TimeZero will tell you, for example, for this area, we are going below 3 meters. Okay, so you see in this area, we have like areas below 3 meters, and this is why those parts of the route are in red. Okay, if I just click and select another part of my route. Okay, it doesn't let me go. Yes, of course. Okay, so I will have to create another route. So I'm going to delete this one. And I can create a new one. And you see here again, so it's much better to go through that way. And if I want to go to another area, I can just go. And once I go, in some other areas that are below 3 meters, TimeZero is telling me that the water is too shallow. So like in two very simple clicks, if you select your departure and the arrival of your route, TimeZero can directly draw you the best route in order to arrive at destination. And again, in order to create your route assist, you just click on the route icon, and instead of clicking on manual, you click on assist, and you draw your route. Okay, so is there any questions concerning the route assist?
No question.
No questions. Are they still there?
I hope.
Well, there are still like 32 people, so it's fine,
Yeah.
I guess. So last feature I wanted to see with you is the Bativision. So I told you that we were about to see the Bativision at the end of this training. So let's do it just right now. I'm going to center on my boat again. So the Bativision is another mode. So again, with TZ Maps, you have vector charts, you have raster charts. So from the layers, you have vector charts here, you have raster charts here, and you also have the TZ Bativision charts. So a few things to know about the Bativision. The Bativision charts is a mode which allows you to put more contour lines concerning depths in your area. Okay, so when I activate the Bativision chart, we can see that I have like this very small menu on the bottom left-hand corner. And first, it will give us like a blue shading for up to 20 meters. So as you can see, from the land to this area, I have 20 meters of depth, okay? But I can select like a more deep area. So here I am from 0 to 20. If I click on 20, I can switch to 50 meters. Okay, now we can see that we have like a blue shading until 50 meters of depth. I can also select until 100 meters or so and more. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my 20 meters. And also the very interesting thing about this menu is that we can see like a very small circle with this one digit here in one. So this is the concentration of contour lines, of depth contour lines that I can display on my chart. Okay, so here on this chart, I can switch from level 1 to level 2. And now I have more contour lines in this area. I can go to contour 3, okay? So it will give me like a more accurate data concerning depth in this area. I can go up to 4 and up to 5, okay? 5 is the limit of the contour lines. So this is like a very nice feature because when you select the number of concentration of contour lines, you can also put it with the bathymetric data. Again, with TimeZero, we have downloaded bathymetric data, and we can just display this information above the contour lines information. Okay, so what I can do is that from the layers menu, I can also display the depth shading in color. And in this area, I will be able to display more contour lines, for example, in this area. Something that can be nice also is to play with the, let's say, the depth shading transparency here, because maybe the core information is a bit too vivid. Okay, so we are able to, from the options of TimeZero, from I think the plotter display options, we can play with the transparencies. Okay, so with transparencies of depth shading. Okay, so I can just put less, as you can see, you can put less color in this area, for example. Okay, and also something that is very interesting is to display the parent shading value also. So we can play with the shadow of the lens. Okay, and it will give us like a more accurate definition in this area. So this is a very nice view. I can go also in Brittany. In Brittany, we have like also like very nice Bathyvision examples here. So typically in this area, for example, we can see perfectly the contour lines matching with the rocks we have here. Okay. I can also display less contour lines, obviously, but we can see that there is like a correlation between the contour lines and the seabed. So by playing with the transparency of the depth shading and the shadowing values from the advanced options, we can have this kind of display for the depth shading and the Bathyvision mode. Are there any questions concerning the Bathyvision, Thierry?
I see no question here.
Okay. I think in this area it can be interesting also, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, in this area in the UK, it's very interesting. We can see perfectly the different shades of colors according to the depth. So for other people who are also like fishing in these areas, it can be very interesting. Okay, well, if there is no other question for me, I think I finished my training session concerning the TZ Maps charts. So again, just for a reminder, the TZ Maps charts are compatible with TimeZero Navigator, TimeZero Professional version 5, and with TZ iBoard version 3. One thing that I didn't say is that when you purchase a TZ Maps chart for the PC software, TimeZero Navigator or TimeZero Professional, you will have the chart for free for the mobile device on TZ iBoard for iPad or for iPhone, which is not the case in the other way. You cannot purchase a chart from the iPad and get it for free on the TimeZero Navigator. Okay, so something that I wanted to say because I forgot. So as you can see, a lot of features. Before, with the former chart format, you only had to choose between vector and raster, and that's it. Now, when you purchase a TZ map chart, you will have the vector chart, the raster chart, according to the area that you purchase, the Bativision chart that we've just seen just right now, and all the different features that I showed you during this training. Okay, so do not hesitate if you have other questions. So we are available to answer all your questions at the technical support. So do not hesitate to send an email to support@mytimezero.com. And if you want to have some information about maybe the price of the different charts, you can just go to our website, or you can also send an email to info@mytimezero.com. This training has been recorded, so each one of you will have this training available because we are going to send you an email with the link of the video of this training. So you will be able to replay it as many times as you want. And that's it for me. So thank you, Thierry, for assisting me during this training. If you have any other questions, do not hesitate, and we will be happy to answer all your questions. Okay, so thank you very much for assisting this training, and I think we are going to have more in the future. Okay, so thank you very much, and have a very good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.